Altos is brought to you with the kind compliments of Rituals Coffee House.
Good evening and welcome to Altos, a weekly news and current affairs program produced by the Catholic News and broadcast on Trinity TV and TTT. I'm Roger Sand, sitting in for Neil Parsonlal. In our headlines this week, experts say schools must do more to protect all students from bullies as questions are raised about the implementation of anti-bullying policies following the death of Jaden Lalchan. Fresh back from emergency surgery, Abbot John Pereira celebrates the 112th anniversary of Mount St. Benedict with a powerful message. Two students from St. Joseph's Convent, San Fernando, and St. Benedict's College capture gold awards in the Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition. And in sport presentation, Shagona students are all smiles as they return home from an international robotics competition. We'll tell you how they placed. Top of the news this evening, psychologist, educator Margaret Naked Chatur and consultant to the Catholic Commission for Social Justice, Leela Ramdeen, both believe that schools have a responsibility to provide a safe environment for all students, and where it fails to do so, must be held accountable. Both women shared their views with Altos following the death of 15-year-old Jaden Lalchan, a student of St. Stephen's College in Princestown, who took his life last week after being bullied at school. Catholic News editor Raymond Sims has more in this report.
Consultant to the Catholic Commission for Social Justice, Leela Ramdeen, said she was grieved and moved to tears while looking at the funeral of young Jaden Lalchan. She told Altos, quote, "So many people knew about the bullying. If only appropriate action had been taken, it is likely that young Jaden will still be with us today. Who showed a genuine interest in dealing with the issue at the school?" End quote. Ramdeen said principals and staff must remember they have a duty of care for the children at their schools. She said, quote, "The Education Act places specific duties on the principals. I listened to Jaden's mother's interview, and if there were clear lines of communication within the school, the principal should have been involved early o'clock." End quote. Psychologist, educator Margaret Naked Chatur said one life lost to bullying is one too many. Jaden, she said, was part of a school environment where it is alleged that the administration and teachers knew of the victim and of the bully.
Were investigations conducted to understand what was happening? Or did it feel that the teenager should handle his own stories? What were the lapses here? And why did any actions that were done make this young boy feel as if there were no other way out of his distress other than to erase himself from life completely?
Naked Chatur said bullying is not new to the school environment, and there have been many discussions by the Joint Select Committees in Parliament and training done for staff members on recognizing, preventing, and responding to bullying.
But where are all the anti-bullying policies that were supposed to be drafted to be legalized and enforced in the schools? Again, where is the follow-through in this society?
If such tragedies are to be prevented, both women say there must be clear strategies, including anti-bullying policies that outline what constitutes bullying and the consequences that would be given to such behavior. They also suggest a whole school approach involving parents, guardians, staff, and the establishment of support systems for students who are bullied, including counseling and peer support groups. I am Raymond Sims reporting for Catholic News Altos.
In a world often marked by loneliness, Abbot John Pereira is reminding us that the scourge of loneliness leads to depression and sometimes suicide. In a homily at last Sunday's Mass, as Mount St. Benedict celebrated its 112th anniversary, he used the lens of marriage and community to explore how our connections with one another are essential to our fulfillment. Abbot John, who underwent emergency surgery in September, expressed gratitude for the prayers, love, and support he received during his recovery. But John Pereira reminded the packed congregation last Sunday at Mount St. Benedict that as far back as the book of Genesis, God was telling us it's not good for man to be alone. Today, he said, Jesus situates marriage in the context of permanence, everlasting love, and friendship.
The male-female relationship, which is ultimately expressed in marriage, is a lasting one and is meant for life. So marriage is not to be a temporary stopgap to fulfill one's need or to secure immigration status in a foreign country for the other, as often happens today.
Abba John described the humans as relational beings, stating that it is in our love for one another that we fulfill our own identity.
And one of the deepest wounds in our modern day society is the scourge of loneliness. It can lead to all sorts of depression, sometimes to suicide.
Abba John said marriage is not an option for the monks, but they also need to come to terms with the scourge of loneliness.
On this mountain of Mount St. Benedict, we have expressed our desire to scale the walls of loneliness, first by living together in community, by opening our hearts to each other in love, by opening our hearts to the little children, and by opening our lives to you for the past 112 years. We continue to be committed to doing so for at least another 112 years.
Abba John continues to recuperate after having major surgery in September for a perforated ulcer.
And in that vein, I want to thank you all for your prayerful support during this time of convalescence after having had major surgery.
Congratulations to the community at Mount St. Benedict. While an innovative program at Bethlehem in Upper Port-of-Spain, an initiative of the Living Water community, is making significant strides in teaching local and migrant children valuable skills through bilingual education and play. Here's more from Kayla and Jordan.
Located at the corner of Frederick and Gordon Streets in Port-of-Spain, Bethlehem offers a nurturing environment for children, particularly those from local and migrant backgrounds who have faced barriers to quality early childhood experiences.
They're going to develop their cognitive skills, their motor skills. And, it doesn't even matter if it's that you just want your child to interact a little bit, or if it is your child has any developmental issues. Nobody is set aside here. Everybody is welcome. So it's really just a happy place.
Migrant children interact with locals, helping them learn Spanish, while the Spanish-speaking children learn English. This bilingual approach is particularly effective for children from newborns to age 5, as this is when their brains develop most rapidly.
Even if you are telling them to do something, you will tell it to them in English. Maybe they won't understand at first. You can say it in Spanish. But really and truly, I think we will be very surprised at how quickly they pick up.
Parents also benefit from the program.
They don't leave the child when they come to Bethlehem. So as we're interacting with their child and we may be speaking to them in English, they're also listening because they are also enthusiastic to learn. So they will pick up things just as quick as the child will, and they can also use that at home.
Bethlehem's Early Childhood Development Officer, Alexandra Briseno, highlighted the special needs area.
The texture board that we have here, as we know, children with special needs normally have a problem with some textures. We encourage them to start interacting with them so they have new sensations and they know that they are no harm.
One of the most popular features is the ball pool, which encourages motor skills and social interaction.
They just run and jump over there. They are not afraid. Even the special needs, the one in the spectrum, this is the thing that they like the most.
Well, 2 students from Trinidad and Tobago have captured the Gold Award in the Queen's Essay Competition 2024. They are Amelia Singh, a Form 4 student at St. Joseph's Convent in San Fernando, and Michael Esdell, a Form 4 student as well, of St. Benedict's College in La Romaine. The Queen's Commonwealth Essay Competition is 140 years old and is the world's oldest international writing competition for schools. It has been proudly delivered by the Royal Commonwealth Society since 1883. We here at Altos congratulate both recipients. And students were an integral part of a Mass with a Difference held last weekend in Talparo as the community hosted a Patois Mass. Some of the children spoke to Altos about the experience of the Mass, which was attended by several visitors, including the Charge d'Affaires of the Embassy of Peru. Father Matthew Ragbear was the chief celebrant. He spoke to Altos about the importance of the Patois Mass.
Yon lectis sorti non l'évangile, la Saint-Esprit d'apre Marc.
Talparo is one of 2 communities that host a Patois Mass in the month of October. Why? Well, for many of us who did not know, October is dedicated as Patois month. Prior to the Mass, those attending were given a lesson in Patois. Hymns at the Mass were all sung in Patois. Following the Mass, Father Matthew Ragbear explained the importance of this Mass.
There was a time when Patois was the lingua franca of Trinidad and Tobago, and so it's part of our own history, our own culture, and it's something that some people say, well, it's dying out. Yes, but the church also has always played a role in preserving the arts, preserving culture, and especially things like this, it's important for us.
Acting principal of the Talparo RC School, Michelle Mora Fodringham, told Altos this Mass was started in 2017, and over the years it has grown, but the journey has not been easy.
We have experienced many challenges over the years, as we don't have enough people to help us with the translations.
She was proud of the many children who participated in the Mass. Altos spoke to some of the children present to get their views.
At first, it was hard understanding the words, but after, you can get along with it and it will become easier.
Being in Patois is very hard. You have to learn to listen and understand certain words.
Charge d'Affaires of the Embassy of Peru, Daniel Loarte, who attended the Mass for the first time, said he was happy to share the spiritual moment.
This community is, let's say, ruled by grandmothers. And for me, it's very good because they are sharing their knowledge of the language and the culture and cultivate with the families and the community this heritage.
Anika Batista, director of Alliance Française, was also a first-time attendee. She summed it up in one word: amazing. And parishes all named after St. Francis of Assisi celebrated their feast today with their annual harvest and family day last weekend. It was a time for prayer, praise, worship, fun, and togetherness as the parishes of Erin, Sangre Grande, and Belmont all celebrated. Delivering the homily at Mass at the St. Francis of Assisi RC Church in Sangre Grande prior to the start of the harvest, Father Jason Boatswain told the congregation they have a duty to live lives of peace.
To be called Franciscan, to be called a parish after the name of St. Francis is a bold and brave step, because there you are called to manifest a peace that the world does not understand. A peace that sets you in union and communion with one another. That's the challenge that we are presented with by St. Francis, the man of peace.
And then it was on to the fun of the day's activities with numerous events and stalls. The media team in the parish spoke to some who attended to get their thoughts.
You see, coming to the stalls and you patronizing the stalls, that is what has made a harvest.
Building community, camaraderie, meeting all these lovely people and their families. So meeting families and building relationships.
And you know the old saying, if the priest could play, who is we? Well, nothing was truer than here at the St. Francis of Assisi Erin Parish as Father Kitsu Amiloko entertained the crowd on the saxophone. They were also treated to the sweet sounds of steel pan courtesy the Superior Police Youth Club. The event started earlier that morning with Mass and then on to the blessing of the stalls for the day's activities to begin. And at the St. Francis of Assisi in Belmont, Father Michael Trestrail won the hearts of parishioners in the Dunkin' Tank stall. Hundreds turned out to the Harvest and Family Day, which was described by many as fun, amazing, and entertaining. Certainly looked like fun. And we thank the media teams from all three parishes of St. Francis of Assisi in Erin, Sangre Grande and Belmont for sharing their videos and pictures with here at Altos. So we encourage others to continue to do so as you have your harvests and other celebrations as well. Well, the statue of Our Lady of Fatima, which was taken down for repair in early August, has been repaired and now stands in pristine glory, ready to be reinstalled at the Our Lady of Fatima RC Church and the Marian Shrine in Laventille. But it may be some time before Our Lady is back at the top of the bell tower. The head of the Our Lady of Fatima statue was detached in a lightning strike in September 2020. The repair of the statue and the bell tower had an original price tag of $1.1 million. On Republic Day, the parish held a mini market, proceeds of which were to go towards the repair work. In an interview with the Catholic News in August, Father Clifford Manwa explained that there are leaks on the tower which needed to be repaired. In addition, the rods for the protection of the statue need to be fixed. Father Clifford also said there is work to be done on the lighting, some construction work and painting to be done as well before the statue of Our Lady is reinstalled. The statue will be kept in the church until all the repair works are completed. Now, if you want to make a contribution towards the restoration of the statue and this project, you can call 763-1873 or 626-2056. We here at Altos urge you to give generously. The Legion of Mary celebrated 90 years of Marian devotion and service to the church here in Trinidad and Tobago last Sunday. Despite overcast conditions, legionaries from across the Archdiocese assembled and processed from Adam Smith Square, Woodbrook, to St. Patrick's RC Church in Newtown, Port of Spain, where Father Peter Aduaka, their spiritual director, celebrated Holy Mass. In his homily, Father Peter challenged members to fulfill one of their key responsibilities, which is to reach out to the sick and dying. Roman Catholic priest Father Emmanuel Van de Casper says, "We are all called to be faithful and not to be successful." Delivering the homily at a Mass at the Rose Hill RC School last weekend, Father Van de Casper said, while many worry about success in the world, the ultimate aim in the life of a Roman Catholic must be a personal relationship with God. He said it is that relationship that endures more than our success in life.
We work, we achieve, and we tell ourselves that, well done. But there will be time when our work will fail, our achievements will not be there, our strength, our health will not be there to do the things we used to do when we were young. What is important in that is our relationship with God endures.
Father Van de Casper noted that despite all the trials that the Blessed Virgin Mary endured, she listened in silence and was always faithful to Jesus, and that is what we are called to do, to be faithful from the beginning to the end, no matter what trials may come our way. A wonderful exchange and a wonderful moment That's how His Grace Archbishop Charles Jason Gordon is describing his encounter with Pope Francis at the Synod of Bishops in Rome earlier this week. His Grace also reports that the Synod this week paid some attention to the LGBTQI community.
We spent a day listening to free interventions. That's anyone from any part of the Synod floor can make an intervention on topics that we are looking at. And what are we looking at? Christian initiation, the mutual exchange of gifts. And now we're on to our third topic for the day. And each time we're listening to many different interventions on that. So it's always a wonderful listening because you gather nuggets in between everything that is being said. But today also there was a meeting for the LGBT community between them and the Synod delegates. And we had a wonderful exchange just listening and hearing how it is to be Catholic and LGBT and what that means within our church today and some of the things that we need to be thinking about in this respect. And my third highlight for the day is that yes, I met the Holy Father. It was a wonderful exchange and we had a wonderful moment. So that's what's happening today. And we're moving along this process where we've had our group intervention that has come up to the tables in language groups. That has come now to the floor, and the floor is having conversations about this and intervening so that we're getting a very wide perspective.
We'll take a short break and return with more here on Altos. Stay tuned.
Morning, Cafe Maribou. Oh my gosh, I come ready for everything. Trying to be silent again, contemplate, go deep inside of us. Pressures of man. Whoa! Not promoted enough. DC everything.
Welcome back. Well, the Cathedral Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited celebrated a milestone, 80 years of dedicated service with a Thanksgiving Mass at their Edward Street, Port of Spain location on Friday, October 4th. Reporter Kaylan Jordan has more.
Roman Catholic priest Father Matthew DeRoe has told staff at the Cathedral Credit Union they are a privileged financial institution with St. Francis of Assisi as their patron saint. And he has invited them to renew their commitment to God, highlighting the importance of community support. Delivering the homily at a Mass marking the 80th anniversary of the credit union, Father DeRoe referenced the book of Job, emphasizing the need for a savior because of our fallen human nature.
This thing here, I could stay home and pray. I could stay home. Everything I am could do in church, I could do home. Why all you do, stay home and watch cricket? Why you go down stadium? So I was doing that. All of a sudden, we need to stay home. But when it's fete, and Paran, and Carnival, and boat ride, be outside.
Father DeRoe cautioned against isolating oneself from the faith community, stressing the need for spaces that remind and inspire us of grace. He urged all to recognize that we cannot navigate life's challenges alone.
It is a big lie. People say, well, I I am not religious, I am spiritual. You see that? That is chain up.
After operating at Independence Square and then Park Street, Port of Spain, the credit union has been welcoming members at its current location at Edward Street since May 2018. I am Kaylan Jordan, reporting for Catholic News, Altos.
Presentation College of Chaguanas did Trinidad and Tobago proud when they placed third at the first Global Robotics Challenge in Athens, Greece, just over a week ago. 4 students and 2 teachers, including Principal Dr. Renee Wibby, they were on the contingent and they got a rousing welcome when they returned at Piarco International last week.
School and national pride overflowed at Piarco last Friday when the contingent returned home after a week in Athens. The competition had 193 teams.
Such a wonderful feeling that to see these boys, they worked so hard and they were able to at least celebrate their success. And it means a lot for us, especially Trinidad and Tobago, and I hope that in the future we will get more assistance in terms of sponsorship, because we worked very hard to get sponsors to take them, because it's not Presentation College Chaguanas, it is Trinidad and Tobago.
Students, staff and parents came at Piarco to welcome the team after their outstanding performance in this prestigious global competition, competing against top teams from around the world. The students demonstrated excellence in robotics design, problem solving and teamwork, bringing pride to their school and the nation. Captain Xavier Blanche was already challenging future members to do better.
I really hope that it'll encourage them to even surpass me, to do much better, to bring home the gold medal next year. That is we have a lot of youth with talent in robotics, not only just in Parish, but all over the country.
I am Raymond Sims for Catholic News, Altos.
Congratulations to them. And Catholic secondary schools continue to dominate the Secondary Schools Football League 2024 season, currently occupying the top 3 spots. Last weekend at the Mahaika Oval Mahaika Sporting Complex in Point Fortin, Premiership title holders Fatima College took on St. Benedict's in a top-of-the-table clash. Fatima scored first in the 30th minute, but then St. Benedict's roared back, scoring 3 unanswered goals to dominate afterwards, and they came away 3-1 winners. That put St. Benedict's at the top of the table last Saturday with 19 points, and Fatima slipped to second along with Presentation San Fernando. Now, during this past week, St. Benedict's defeated St. Anthony's on Monday 2-1 in a rescheduled game, and midweek, 2 days later, on Wednesday, St. Benedict's again had to come from behind. This time they defeated QRC 2-1 in Port of Spain, 2-1 the final there. So going into this weekend, Fatima and Prez, they also won on Wednesday. So going into this weekend, Benedict's are now top of the table with 25 points. Fatima and Presentation San Fernando joined second on 19 points with goal difference separating them. Well, let's take a look at what's ahead in this week's edition of the Catholic News with Associate Editor Simone DeLochan.
In this week's edition of the Catholic News, have you eaten your dark green leafy vegetables this week? Dietitian Cherise Bronte-Tenque explains why you should. And read about an artist who tackles women's mental health issues through her paintings. I am Simone DeLochan, Associate Editor of the Catholic News.
Please make sure and pick up your copy at just $5 each. Well, that's a wrap on our show this week as we seek to cover all that's happening in the Archdiocese of Port of Spain and even beyond. We thank you for viewing and we remind you to pray, read your Bible, and continue to learn our rich Catholic faith. We leave you with the sweet sounds of Parang. Yes, Parang, it's that time of the year. This Parang coming from the Harvest and Family Day at the Parish of St. Francis of Assisi in Sangre Grande from last weekend. We thank you for viewing.
Altos was brought to you with the kind compliments of
Rituals Coffee House.